unless you're living a beautiful life which does not involve this chaos of a person called Donald Trump, you do know that as soon as he was sworn as the 47th President of the United States, he signed plethora of executive orders. There are several consequential ones, but the one that we're talking about today, he likes to call it protecting the meaning and value of American citizenship. Colloquially, it is referred to as revoking 14th Amendment, which technically isn't true, especially because president, as powerful as they are in the American present system of government, he cannot unilaterally change the Constitution. So what he's actually attempting is to redefine the letters of the law to his political beliefs and the beliefs of the fringe movement in the American far right. In the executive order, they also gave the origin of the 14th Amendment, which has its roots in a infamous and yet a landmark Supreme Court case called Dred Scott versus Sanford of 1857, that in essence declared that the US Constitution did not extend American citizenship to black people, and therefore they were not eligible for the rights and privileges bestowed upon by the US Constitution. That too by a 7-2 majority. This is, if you can believe that. Well, of course you can. Later it was 1850s, so what do you expect? So the first sentence of the 14th Amendment, also known as the Citizenship Clause, was adopted in 1868, 11 years after the Scott v. Sanford case, which the amendment meant to supersede and give citizenship to the free slaves and their children. Not by coincidence, this section of the amendment is probably one of the most litigated parts of the US Constitution. Now, the movement that began in the early 1990s to end birthright citizenship as we know it likes to make a meal out of this word, jurisdiction thereof, and to point out that the jurisdiction thereof means it only applies to citizens and permanent residents. So anybody, including the newborn from the legal immigrants on different visas, are not allowed the US citizenship. Think about it for a second. The newborn from legal immigrants, in effect, could be undocumented immigrants if that would be the case. That's mind-numbingly stupid. The sheer ignorance of this would be mind-blowing, but nothing actually surprising anymore, is it? The literal meaning of the word, as well as the widely accepted legal interpretation, has been that anybody within the confines of the US border is in the jurisdiction of the United States, with one exception being foreign diplomats and their families, who cannot be tried in an American court because of the diplomatic immunity. Pause for a minute to ponder. US justice system routinely punishes the legal as well as illegal immigrants. So how can they not be in the US jurisdiction? See the US versus Wong Kim Ark from 1898, where the Supreme Court decides on behalf of Wong Kim Ark, who was born in US as from parents of Chinese descent, got his citizenship because the court deemed they were not employed by the Emperor of China on his behalf, and hence are the subject of US jurisdiction. So this is nothing more than Trump's attempt to tear apart the precedent as well as the literal law of the land for 150 years to grant citizenship to anybody born in the United States. Even for the pre-Civil War era of 1857, the Supreme Court's decision to deny citizenship to Dred Scott was shameful. 168 years later, Trump's attempt to deny citizenship to newborn of immigrants is disgraceful, if not cruel.